Welcome, folks. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for the latest presentation of our NBA basketball. Along with Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. Now a chance to check out our starting lineups. And guys, what are we going to be looking for in this one from Wesley Matthews, do you think?
Hey guys, how many times have we seen him just drill that corner three? And for whatever reason, that's just his shot. He sees that shot so well. Obviously, it's a little closer than other three-pointers, but that's his comfort zone for sure.
And it's his scrappiness, Steve, that also makes him a special player. I can't tell you how many times I've seen him dive into the second row going after a loose ball.
For the Portland Trail Blazers, they come in off a loss to the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, it seemed to me their three-point shooting was their own worst enemy in that game, Clark. I mean, even their wide-open looks weren't falling.
Yeah, and I'm sure when they think back on that game, Steve, their main regret is going to be that they didn't get away from the three-point shot early on. They kept going to it.
So it's the Jazz now, after the miss from Butler. And Favors gets it to go in on the assist by Burks. Favors has got the first points on the scoreboard for the Jazz.
Well, it's pretty obvious, guys. Portland has a lot of young talent, but the defensive effort has to get better. The intensity, the concentration at that end of the floor has to grow, which is always tough with a young team, but to get better, it's going to have to start with defense there.
Shot clock at 5. No good for Monk. On defense, Portland, a moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, guys, the head coach for the Portland Trail Blazers gave me just a couple of minutes. After taking the first matchup with them, he wants his team to be even more assertive on the offensive end. He told me, I feel we can have our way on offense. Get them into matchups that they don't like and find points that way. It's what helped in our first meeting. Let's see if they can do it again here, guys.
Okay, Doris, well, the offensive approach a primary force in the game plan today, guys.
As it should be, Kevin. I mean, they're the type of team where if they can get their offense clicking, everything else falls into place.
Exactly. For them, more than most teams, so much depends on the effectiveness of their offense. It usually is the beginning of their best defense.
Aldridge, the pass to Money. Now, here's Burke. Defense is right there. Burke's with it. Lillard picks him up. Burks kicks to Burke. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Burke's got his first 2 points of the night.
Well, what you like with Trey Burke, he really can do it all at the point guard position. Pass, shoot, he's very poised, under control, and a good leader as well.
Here's Money. Nice defense from Burks.
Had a pretty good look at the basket, but defensively they did a nice job rotating, forcing the miss.
The offensive rebound. Favors. Rejected by Robinson. That's good. Burks got his second basket of the game. Trailblazers trail by 8. Passes it to Money. Shot to stop the drought. It's hauled in by Thomas. And back to Burke at 6'1", not elite size or great athleticism, Clark, for the point guard position, some say.
But he makes up for that lack of size and athleticism with smart and a desire to get better and a really excellent shooting stroke. So I think when you look at Burke, he's a guy that's going to continue to get better.
Puts it up from 15. Good. Burks has got his second basket of the night.
Wow, just a tremendous first quarter shooting the basketball for them, guys.
Yeah, when they put it up, it's gone in.
Here's Money. Burks covering. Here's Money. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Well, you always hear about how loud this Jazz crowd is at home, and trust me, it is loud. They are a big part of why the Jazz have been so tough at home for so long, but the personnel of the Jazz has had something to do with that as well.
And as you said, the Jazz very tough at home as always, Clark, and 30 wins for them in this building last season, which usually, Steve, is enough to get you into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's an amazing stat. 30 home wins and you don't get in. It just shows you how difficult and how tough the Western Conference was.
Utah's on defense. Lillard, the pass to Money. Just 4 to shoot. So the whistle blows on the shot from 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Guys, it's no surprise that a young team like the Blazers found it difficult sledding on the road. Not quite the experience or edge needed to put together good performances on a nightly basis away from home.
Well, for the Blazers, statistically, they played as close as you could ask for as to when they played at home, but they didn't really have the roster to protect the rim, and Steve forced turnovers, which is always a big help on the road.
Yeah, their interior defense was a problem last year. A lot of teams just beat them up, particularly when Portland would go out on the road. That's one of the reasons they finished 11 and 30. You have to be able to defend at a high level to win away from home.
And it's sent back by Aldridge. They retain possession. Here's Burke. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. Burke's got 6.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
Yeah, not a lot you can do defensively when they continue to get the ball inside and get these easy shots.
The shot's good for money. For the Utah Jazz, they come in off a loss to the Kings.
And Kevin, I kept waiting for them to get back into that game. It seemed like they were capable of it, but it just never happened.
Well, I didn't see it, Steve. I mean, you had much more faith in them than I did. I didn't think they were showing any signs of life. We were watching the same thing, but perceiving it differently.
And here's Burks. He's coming off a 19-point game against Sacramento. Now here's Burke, guarded closely. Can't hit the free throw line jumper.
No breathing room at all to take that shot.
Goes up on the wing. Here's Aldridge. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
Burke dishes to Burks. And that's a foul called on Money. That's his first foul. First team foul. Now here's Burke, defended by Lillard. The dish to Burke. 6 on the shot clock. Another miss by Utah.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
Thomas with the steal. And here we go. Burke's got it. A fast break chance. Burke with it. Lillard picks him up. Here's Burks. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Well, really a promising young roster for the Utah Jazz team, guys. A lot of blue-chip talent there. I think in a couple of years, this team has a chance to be one of the best in the West.
And you got to give this Utah front office a lot of credit. You're right, Clark. They've only missed the playoffs 5 times in the last 30 seasons. Steve, that is a remarkable run.
What I like about Utah, too, Kevin, is that they seem to stay ahead of the curve. They make moves while they still have leverage. Dealing Carlos Boozer, Kirilenko, Darren Williams. So they've done a good job of getting value, getting assets, and continuing to look ahead.
Here is Williams after the made shot from Money. Pass to Hayward. Outside Williams. Now the pass to Burke. And it's off from 3-point range.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the board.
Yeah, and even though it's early, I mean, that's a great sign for them for the rest of the game. Boy, great job of attacking on the break.
Yeah, it sure was. He made a beeline for the bucket as soon as they got the ball. Right away, straight to the rim.
And the basket by Murphy.
He kind of threaded the needle with that pass into the paint.
Portland's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Lillard, right side, passes it to Money, and out of bounds as the Jazz gain possession. And now with this break, here are the premier glass cleaners among rookies over the... Here's Money. Last time, 45 points for him. Soft touch off the glass. Money's got 10 points.
And their shooting really starting to pick up here in the second quarter.
Well, the lead being maintained will not be a problem if they keep shooting the way they have so far.
Burke's the off guard with Hayward at the 3. Thomas is out there with Favors, and it's Burke in at the 1. That's the group right now for Utah. 6 to shoot. Fires the 3. That is good. He's got 9.
The defenders need to talk to each other. The communication lacking there on that three-pointer.
Lillard on top, defended by Burke. Here's Money. 10 points for him. Second shot opportunity. He takes it up and lays it in. Money's got 4 points this quarter.
3 consecutive baskets have come right at the rim. The defense had better start buckling down and tightening up.
Yeah, they're getting exposed right now.
Hayward, terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
Yeah, and it's a strategy that has served them well in this opening half, Clark.
Here's Money. 12 points for him.
Been a poor shooting performance for him today, but luckily for them, a lot of his teammates have come through.
Kind of a little interesting factoid here for Gordon Hayward. If you look at his three-point percentage, he's shot great in seasons that end in odd numbers and poorly in the even-numbered years. That goes all the way back to his days at Butler.
The finger roll finish at the bucket. Now just a 1-point Portland lead.
Brought back the finger roll. That's a nice finesse move to pull off with the defense all over it.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Well, guys, Money in the last outing against the Mavericks had a huge game. He finished with 45 points and played some lockdown defense as well, causing havoc on both ends of the floor. It was a performance for the ages and one that will have the whole league talking.
All right, Doris, thank you. It really was a stunning performance, Clark. He was at his absolute best in this game.
Yeah, and the only thing about having a game like that, Kevin, is that it's almost impossible to duplicate it here tonight.
Well, nobody's expecting that, Clark, and they don't need him to do that. If he's even half as good as he was that night, it should be enough.
And Clark, as I look at the stat sheet, you're exactly right. Hayward in 2013, 2011, and 2009, he shot over 40% from 3, but in 2010, he shot 29%. In 2012, just 35% from long range.
Is that what you do, like when you're at home and you have some free time? You
Yes.
you look at odd numbered years versus even numbered years on three-point percentage?
Yes.
Yeah, that must be
I'm
fun.
all over it.
Gosh.
Yeah, right. Robin Lopez is checked in for Portland. Wright comes in for Thomas Robinson. Lillard attacking. Here's Lopez. Misses the layup. He had him with that bump fake. Utah trailing here. Last time against the Trailblazers, they lost in Portland.
Well, the big thing is they've got to avoid tonight what happened in the previous matchup. A lot of their starters were on the bench with foul trouble in that game.
No good for Money.
This quarter has not been his best. The defense may be starting to affect him a little bit.
Now, here's Burke. A 24-point outing in their last game against Sacramento.
And Kevin, don't forget about his playmaking in that game as well. He was wonderful in terms of attacking the defense and figuring out when to shoot and when to find teammates.
Williams gets the bucket. Just to focus on what Steve was talking
That's
about.
some home-court bullshit.
Probably had more to do with that loss than anything.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. I mean, I thought they lost their heads a bit. They just basically lost control. Things started to get physical. They didn't really show any discipline. They started committing unnecessary and foolish fouls. It was just a real collapse in terms of mental fortitude there.
Got to keep your composure.
Always.
And good on the basket. Book it. Now it's a 4-point Jazz lead. Here's Money. And he uses both hands to jam it in. Tremendous stuff from a guy, Clark, we think more of for his passing.
Yeah, but he's got tremendous leaping ability and a surplus supply, too.
Well, that's a great aggressive move and 2 big points, too.
Gets it to go. Lillard's got his second bucket.
Superb assist there. He played the role of the maestro on that one.
Burks kicks to Burke. Shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2. And the Jazz lead by 2. Here's Money, defended by Burke. Here's Money, and he dumps it down. Stupendous rush to the rim and a mighty slam on the end of it.
But through the teeth of some pretty soft D, I can't help but say that.
Well, let's see how that impacts things here, because those kinds of plays sometimes can be game changers on both sides.
So here's Burks. Portland making their last shot. Burke, the pass to Williams. He kicks to Burks. Another steal. And it's the Trailblazers on the break. Then he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Trailblazers.
And they've come out in attack mode defensively, applying pressure and stealing the ball repeatedly.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break.
And it's out of bounds to the Jazz as Utah retains possession. And Favors kicks to Burks. Shoots from 12.
Hell no.
Can't hit. Aldridge with some nice D. Portland leading.
You know, the Blazers found themselves, guys, near the bottom of the West last season, and typically when that happens, you struggle against the rest of the conference, and that was certainly the case for Portland.
Savage. That's the way to get some momentum on your side.
Absolutely. Those dunks can really have a deflating effect on the defense.
Especially coming from a guy out of the backcourt.
The Trailblazers making a switch here. Williams is checked in. And stolen by Favors. Ball's knocked loose. On the wing, Williams puts the lead pass in front of him. Gets it to go. And the Trailblazers lead by 6. Portland did have their problems, as you said, Clark, against the West. A big part of it was late in the season. They were beat up and lost their last 13 games of the year. Steve, mostly those losses coming to Western teams.
Well, that was a big slide for them. And, you know, they probably made their 18-34 mark in the conference seem probably a little worse than it should have. But look, they were out of the playoffs. They lost their edge, and they were playing a lot of young people. I think this is a team that has a chance to make a big comeback.
Here is Lucas.
What the fuck?
After Wesley Matthews scored, Williams a screen. Lucas kicks to Williams. Feeds to Favors. Back to Williams. Good on the three-point shot. Williams has got 6.
That is not enough coverage. Got to do better than that defensively. Basically no coverage. I mean, defense did not look very good there.
Trying his luck deep. No good for money.
Rebounds are split just about down the middle in this game, Clark.
I venture to guess whichever team is able to maintain that energy level on the glass will have the upper hand the rest of the way.
And now in transition, here's Williams. Here we go. Pass to Money.
Then I was too fucking early. Goddamn.
Second chance shot. Rejected by Lucas. And they'll keep possession.
But his body control is what I notice. I think that jumps off the page when you watch him play, even with the defender draped all over. He's able to find a way to get to the rim and get the shot to go in.
And you also can't say enough about his stamina. I mean, he has a non-stop motor, always turned up and turned on. And even playing at that speed, it doesn't prevent him from playing big minutes either.
Clark dishes to Jefferson. Lucas. Thomas inside. Aldridge is covering. No good from Clark. And here are the Trailblazers. They're on a 15-5 run. Offensive rebound. Robinson lays it up and banks it in. Robinson's got 10 points in the game.
Really not hard to see why they're giving up points on this run. I mean, they've just given them too many looks inside.
Yeah, I mean, they're just getting pounded in there. The defense not offering much resistance. They've got to force the ball back out to the perimeter.
Here's Clark. 6 points for him. And stolen by Aldridge. Here's Money. Kicks it to Williams. Drops in the layup for 2.
How was that bad?
And now a 10-point Trailblazer lead.
Well, we've seen that more than a few times. An easy bucket in the lane.
Yeah, the interior defense simply has been lifeless.
Utah has gotten half their shots from three-point range to go down in the second quarter. 3 of 6 from downtown. And that one's good by Clark. Here's the Trailblazers with the ball. They're on a 19-7 run. That's good. 23 points for money.
Well, it's easier to protect the lead if you can get nice high percentage shots rather than settle for long three-pointers that they did in the first quarter.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, shooting percentage a function of shot selection. I think they've got to keep the pressure on each possession, and I think that's easier to do when you're attacking the paint and not settling for threes.
Clock at 6. Here's Lucas. Lets it fly. It's hauled in by the Trailblazers.
Very porous defense down there by the hoop. He probably should make that one.
What the
And out of bounds as Utah gains possession.
God damn.
Now, a severe lack of awareness on his part. He had no idea he was.
Now, presented by Sprint. Good to have the Sprint halftime report, presented by Sprint.
And now the third quarter about to get going.
Some excellent numbers in this one for money. He has 23 points, and he's played the role of the pest today, too. I mean, he's caused a bunch of turnovers.
And those steals are all the evidence you need of just how high his basketball IQ is. He really sees the floor well defensively.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. On the floor for Portland, Robinson and Aldridge down low. Money out there with Damian Lillard. And it's Matthews in at the 3 spot. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Guys, Damian Lillard was a 4-year player at Small Weber State. Not the usual profile for the NBA Rookie of the Year. But he maintains, quote, "My experience at Weber State was great. Every step of the way, I had the support of my teammates, but they still challenged me in practice. The coaches didn't treat me differently. If anything, they demanded more of me. They really helped me grow as a player and a leader. The level of maturity I've grown into, I really owe it to them." Guys, he's shown that maturity in his impact with the Blazers.
An intriguing young talent. Thanks.
Just seems like they're finding an open lane to the hoop every time down. That's 5 buckets in a row for them in the paint.
Yeah, on the flip side, Steve, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior.
Now here's Burke. He dishes it to Hayward.
Huge play. Forget about going for the long-range bomb to cut into that lead. Just take it to the hoop, my friend. Take it to the hoop.
And how a brilliant throwdown.
Yeah, just exerting his authority out there.
A big part of, why people are patient with the offensive development of Derek Favors is that he's young, for one, but he's also already a very good defender in the post. A strong frame and long arms allow him to do that.
Now here's Burke after the miss from Money. Poked loose. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. The 8-footer. Nice touch on the bank shot. Matthews has got 5 points in the quarter.
Well, it's been all about pace and space with them. Tempo, the fast break points, just a huge advantage.
Yeah, they've been looking to push it all the time and to get that early offense, and they're doing it well.
Count that one. And Clark, you mentioned the long arms of Derek Favors. 6'10", but that 7'4" arm span, wingspan. Steve, do you think he's more of a power forward or a center?
I think the positions have basically been blurred in the league the last few years. He can guard both positions. I think on offense, he's best served staying around the hoop. And as he continues to develop his moves down there, little hooks and counter moves, I think you can see him play the center role pretty easily.
Burke kicks to Burks. And he's knocked off course by the D. The foul called. He'll shoot free throws.
For the Jazz last season, it really became an issue about the log jam inside. They had 2 established starters in Jefferson and Millsap and 2 young up-and-comers in Cantor and Favors, and there was an expectation that somebody would be moved, but the trading deadline passed and they were all still there.
Well, you would have thought that the Jazz would have made a deal one way or another, but it was hard for them as they were in the thick of a playoff race at the time, Steve, sort of tied their hands.
Well, if they weren't in that race, I think they might have sent 1 or 2 of those guys out to try to get some more assets for the future. As it was, they ended up losing Millsap and Al Jefferson, so it's incumbent on the young talent in that front court to now develop and really take over.
And now we've got a moment to see how the Jazz are doing ranking-wise, Kevin. 6th in steals, 12th in blocks, And when we look at the free throw shooting numbers, not very strong. Top 20 in the league. That begs for improvement.
What they try to do, Clark, is pressure the ball. I mean, you talked about the steals per game, and that's the key number of all those stats. They pressure the ball. They really create havoc for the offense. And when they take you out of the flow of your offense, it really makes the ball stop, and the game becomes very difficult for the offensive team.
There's the pass to Money. And there's the feed to Aldridge. Great look, but off the mark.
And that's a shot he had to take.
For sure, it was a good decision, just poor execution.
And stolen by Lillard. And now Lillard running the floor all by himself.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
It feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
Hayward passes to Burks.
You know, you look at the flex offense that Utah utilizes, and it requires that players, one, be versatile and multi-skilled, but also that they have good basketball IQs. You need to be able to screen and read defenses effectively. And that's not easy, but it's certainly a good way to play if you've got the right people.
Here's Money. He's got 26. He passes to Lillard. Passes it to Money. 5 on the clock. Burks with the steal. And oh, here we go. Burks got it. A fast break chance. Hayward kicks to Favors. And the lead is down inside single digits. Favors got 4 points this quarter. And Clark, back to that flex offense you were talking about. Some players come into the league with the bad habit of standing around when they don't have the ball. Steve, that's not going to cut it in the flex.
No, it keeps you moving. It keeps the ball going. A lot of screening and cutting. It's a great offense, and it's difficult to cover. But I like what you said. It teaches the young players how to play as well.
Pass to Money for the three. Rebounded by the Jazz. Hayward's got his 3rd rebound tonight. After this one, they're off to Sacramento to take on the Kings. And that'll be the first of a 2-game road trip for them.
And you know, for the Kings, that's a game they'd really like to have.
Now, here's Burke. 14 points for him. Pass to Favors. Fader on the way. Out of bounds. Portland takes possession. While we can, let's have a peek at the league's top foul shooting teams over the course of the last month. Number 1, the Trailblazers.
Kevin, I'm absolutely amazed. I mean, their production at the line has been spectacular. I mean, it's been unbelievable. Well done by these guys of late. He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
Burke with it. Matthews covering. Burke dishes to Hayward. He feeds it to Burke. Aldridge spins under the box. And that one's good. Burke. They got on this roll a while ago, and they just haven't looked back. Portland's gone 1 of 4 in 3-point shots here in the 3rd. Here's Money. Burks covering. They get it back. And good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points.
You got to put bodies on the glass right there. They just are not getting it done on the boards.
Yeah, they've got to do a much better job of going harder than that to the glass.
Now, here's Burke. He's got 16. Evans kicks to Burks. Tries again.
Burks has been putting up the numbers. 12 points, and 4 of his points have come at the foul line. He's made the most of those opportunities.
Which can't be undervalued, Clark. So many times a game can come down to which team wins the free throw battle.
And Portland making a change here.
You know, since the Northwest Division came into existence back in 2004, the Trailblazers have never taken the title as the best in the division. They've always been competitive, but never at the top.
Jazz trailed by 5. Shot denied, but they recover it. Dishes to Lucas. Evans outside. The Jazz working the ball around now. Gets it to go. Burks has got 8 points here in this quarter. And last year, no exception for the Blazers not winning the division. They ended up 4th out of the 5 in there, a record of 6-10 against, Steve, the rest of the Northwest teams.
And as you guys were saying, I mean, the Blazers have never won the division, but it's not like they're in the cellar either. They've got a lot of talent. They should be in the hunt this year with an improved bench. And I think this is a team that could surprise a lot of people in the Northwest.
Now, here's Burks, averaging 16 points a game. Lucas the pass to Jefferson. There's the dish to Evans. Knocked loose. Now Aldridge, averaging 18 points a game. He kicks it to Robinson. Here's Money. Burks covering. And a moment here to take a look at some of the hustle stats for Portland.
Their activity at the defensive end, Kevin, has been really impressive, attacking and coming away with steals.
Another factor here tonight has been the amount of points they've scored off turnovers.
And it's the Trailblazers on the break. It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Well, that's the best possible play there. I mean, that was an easy 2, so instead foul it, make it.
And the Jazz with possession here. And that's a foul called on Money. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Thomas checked in for Marvin Williams. Here's Thomas, and that one's good. Portland leading by 5. Here's Money, and he lays it straight in. Money's got 7 points for the quarter.
What a top-notch game he's having. He's gotten them in front, and it sure seemed like he's going to keep them there. All by himself, it looks like.
Burke dishes to Rush. Favors. Makes it off the glass. Favors got 8 points.
Despite the troubles he had in the first half, he stayed composed and focused, and now he's getting it going.
Now here's Burke, guarded by Robinson.
That's his 4th foul. I'm sure he recognizes the situation because number 5 would put him in a rough, tough spot.
And Damian Lillard last season, Steve, averaging 6.5 assists a game.
And those numbers should get better because, Lillard's going to get better. The Blazers will continue to add to their roster. They had one of the worst benches in the league last season. So you put a couple more scores alongside Lillard, those assist totals will go up.
I think Clark's right. We'll have to see in time how his playmaking develops. The Jazz making a switch here. Burks is checked in. Here's Money. 30 points in the game. Feeds to McCollum. Shot clock at 6. On the pass to Crabbe. Money defended by Burke. The Trailblazers need to get off a shot. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2.
You know, one of the things you love about Aldridge is his offensive versatility. I mean, he's a big guy that's obviously a threat in the post, but he's really worked to make himself a threat from the elbows, the edges of that foul lane area, and he's quite dangerous there, too.
And going back to Aldridge, Clark, great skill, and for his size, Steve, he can really move.
Good point, Kevin. Defenders try to front him in the post, and he'll continually roll right to the rim or across the lane to create a better passing angle for his guards.
Now, here's Burks. 16 points for him. Buries the 7-footer. Burks has got 10 points in just the second half.
What a quarter for him at the offensive end. He's ignored the scoreboard and continued to go out there and do his thing. See some of the numbers here on LaMarcus Aldridge. Last 10 games for him have been excellent. First in rebounding. And he's in the top 10 in the league in blocked shots per game, so he's a real force in the paint defensively.
You know, we rewind back and look at his incredible rebounding average, and he's actually a beast in the paint. I mean, when the shot goes up, he really believes it belongs to him if it doesn't go in.
Here's Money. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in. Money's got 9 points in the quarter.
Guys, that time you went for the fancy finish for us there, man. That was sweet.
Now, here's Burks, defended by McCollum. Favors can't get it to go. Portland leading by 5. Here's Money. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way.
Gotta love the finger roll up and over the defense.
And this is his 4th trip to the free throw line tonight.
Look at the numbers for him on the line this year. 88% on the season. Impressive number.
Yeah, guys, I mean, he's been a very steady hand for them when it comes to his free throw shooting.
Now, here's Burke. He's got 18. Good.
The defense playing way too soft there, guys. He's just getting right to the rim.
Portland's gotten 1 of 6 3-pointers to drop since coming out of the locker room at halftime. The 8-footer. Here's Money, defended by Burke, and it falls over the rim and in.
He is just tearing it up this quarter. That lead's not going anywhere while he's this high.
Outside for Jefferson. He dishes it to Burks. It's good from long range. Burks has got 13 points here in the second half alone.
Beautiful feed off the bounce to his teammate there. Nicely done. Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And front power and dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that.
Coming up.
Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The 4th quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested game. Pairing up in the backcourt, Trey Burke and Alec Burks. Thomas is out there with Hayward. And it's Favors in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the 5 on the floor for the Jazz.
Well, probably the right play defensively. If you can't get the block, send them to the free throw line. Don't give them an easy 2.
No easy buckets inside. Force free throws and work to keep them out of the lane next time around.
Here's Money. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Utah Jazz. After this one, they're off to Sacramento to take on the Kings. That'll be the first half of a 2-game trip.
A lot of fans focused on that matchup for San Antonio.
And the first one at the line is good.
Can you believe the job they're doing at the foul line since halftime? I mean, they've been perfect so far.
Yeah, sometimes it's contagious. Everybody starts to get comfortable and relaxed, and everything goes in the hoop.
He has such terrific form and consistency on his free throw. Beautiful to watch.
Here's Burke. The jumper from the free throw line is good. Burke's got 22.
The mid-range jumper becomes a pretty high percentage shot for him when he has that kind of space.
And Lillard kicks to Robinson. The feed to Matthews. Passes to Aldridge. Back to Matthews. And even 3-on-3 break. Burke with it. Now defended by Money. Favors passes to Burke. Kicks to Burks. 6 on the shot clock. Utah needs to get off a shot here. Here's Burke. Utah gets it back. Thomas dishes to Burke. Back to Thomas. Robinson on him. Pass to Burks. He passes it to Burke to take the lead. And Damian Lillard pulls it down. Lillard's got his 3rd rebound tonight.
Very little success for him behind the arc today. Just 1 3-pointer in the first half and still none in the second.
Burke with it. Now guarded by Money. Burke with it. Pass to Favors. Robinson on him. Shoots a fader. Favors can't get it to go. Portland leading. The pass to Money. Shoots a 3. That one goes. Count it. Money's got 42 in the game.
You can really see that his confidence is at a high level here in this half. He didn't have a 3 in the first.
Inside. And now Lillard running the floor all by himself. And the officials call goaltending, so they'll award the basket.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
Fans don't like that call one bit.
Well, the officials got an earful as a result.
Thomas against Robinson. Thomas, no good. Trailblazers leading by 6. Pass to Money. Feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. Money's got 44.
And he's performing at such a high level. And that's why they're in the lead right now.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
I was able to listen in on what Tyrone Corbin was going over with his team. He was riding them pretty hard for the number of silly fouls they've committed in this game. He said, listen, we need to have some defensive discipline. Stop biting on the shot fakes, stop reaching in, and stop giving them free points at the free throw line. We'll see if they'll respond, guys.
Great move to the hoop, and I love the finger roll finish.
A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. And Thomas with the block. Or kicks to Hayward. Rebound by the Trailblazers. And it's the Trailblazers on the break. Money passes to Aldridge. And that one's good. And the Trailblazers lead by 8.
Yeah, and he's one player who doesn't need a lot of space to get to the basket. He's really crafty, the way he can blast his way straight through traffic. He's really strong.
Another area where he excels is on one of the most fundamental plays in basketball, the pick and roll. He will lower the boom on the defender with a solid screen and then is terrific at rolling into space and getting the basket.
Near the three-point line, it's Thomas. Damian Lillard pulls it in. Lillard's got 4 rebounds in this game. Robinson, a chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. For Utah, they've gone just 2 of 8 in this fourth quarter. The final quarter not treating them well so far. And there's the foul. It goes on Wesley Matthews. That is his first foul of the game.
Well, he tried to step in and cut him off, but just not quick enough.
And we have the benefit of replay, but I think they got that one right, which is the case most times, even though fans don't think so.
He feeds it to Hayward. Just 5 on the clock. The Jazz again can't hit it. Trailblazers leading by 8. Money passes to Matthews. Defended by Hayward. Lillard outside. Money lets it go from the wing. It's rebounded by Hayward. Hayward's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Favors with a screen on Matthews. Hayward dishes to Burks. He kicks to Hayward. Three-pointer. Shot misses. And it's Portland the other way. Here's Money. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. And now we'll look at the upcoming schedule for the Portland Trailblazers. Following this one, they get to host the Rockets. That game is the first and last of their homestand.
Well, you know, Damian Lillard, the number 6 pick in the 2012 draft, but that didn't matter because he ran away with the Rookie of the Year award. Taking over the reins at guard in Portland, this young man was special.
They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Burks kicks to Burke. Dishes it to Burks. Feeds it to Hayward. With the fadeaway. That one wide left. And a great start for Damian Lillard last season. Won the Vegas Summer League co-MVP award. Stepped right into that big void for Portland at point guard, especially after Raymond Felton had really kind of taken that position and downgraded it the year before.
Yeah, there was a huge hole in the lineup for the Blazers, and Lillard stepped right in and filled it up. Had an incredibly productive season. And now it's about improving his overall game, getting his defense better. I think he could be one of the top point guards in the NBA before too long.
How many minutes a game, Steve, did he play, did you calculate?
About 39 a game. Yeah, top 3 in the NBA. He's a big minutes guy.
Tremendous. Here's Money. Lillard, right side. Lillard gets the screen from Aldridge. Lillard, the pass to Aldridge. Burks with the steal. Now, here's Burke. Defense right on him. The dish to Hayward. Cans it from downtown.
There's been a change in his game compared to what we saw in the first half. I mean, he's scoring with a lot of confidence now.
Here's Money. Tries a 3. And another 3 for Portland.
How about that for a response?
They will say they can give the 3 as well as they can take the 3.
Burks dishes to Burke. And it's the Trailblazers on the break. Pushes it down to finish the break.
Boy, the kind of moments you love to see. Excellent defense leading to a dunk at the other end.
Clark, you got to marvel at the transition game when they've got it clicking. It's really explosive.
High octane for sure.
Oof.
And turning defensive pressure into offensive opportunities, that's what it's all about.
This is a fantastic performance in this half. He didn't play as well in the first, but you just know with this guy, he's always ready to turn it around.
Man, a gaping hole in the defense that time, and he didn't waste any time getting through it.
And here's Burks. He dishes it to Burke. And that's a foul called on Money. That will be foul number 5 on him.
Boy, it's been a tough go in terms of fouls for him. I mean, my goodness, he can't stay out of the way of fouls.
Portland on defense. The 12-point lead, their biggest of the game. Here's Burke. Rocket 6. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Well, I like what they're doing inside here in the second half. I mean, they're still trailing, but they're showing a lot of grit down low in the paint. He's been to the line here more than in the first. I thought he was a bit tentative in that first, but I like the aggressiveness he's showing here now. How did he get that one over the top of him? He's given up a lot of inches in that matchup, but you wouldn't know it after that throwdown.
Burks kicks to Burke. Another steal. Here's Lillard. A huge slam, the perfect end of the fast break.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Yeah, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close. Well, he's been a real positive factor for them today, although, as a team, they've had a lot of negatives mixed in there as well.
Here's Money. Here's Money. Matthews. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2. Matthews has got 4 this quarter.
And the rebounding numbers don't actually tell the whole story. I mean, they're barely ahead in that category, but when they've needed them, they've gotten them. They've really battled hard.
It's their work on the glass, Steve, that's prevented any kind of momentum swing.
Now Hayward. There's the feed to Burks. 5 to shoot. Tipped away. Now here's Matthews. Kicks it to Lillard. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Lillard's got 10 points in just the second half.
You got to like his shot selection today. He set a good example for the rest of his teammates.
Here's Burke, and it's blocked by Matthews. Lillard with it. Pass to Money. Can't get it to go. Some solid defense there from Burke. Jazz trailed by 15. Pass to Favors. He feeds it to Burke. He passes to Burks. Nice ball movement by Utah. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Wow, this game just a commanding performance for Burke. He has 29 points, and he produced 6 points from the free throw line. That's nice work.
Now he's helping their cause, finding some easy points through penetration and attacking the defense.
Not nearly as productive a trip to the line as he'd have liked. They need all their free throws to go down at this point.
Well, that just adds to what's probably an already insurmountable lead. I think they'll be walking out of here with a pretty easy victory.
Steve, I think that's a given.
Burks, the pass to Burke, and that'll be Utah as it goes out of bounds. Jazz retain possession. We've got 1:28 left in the fourth quarter.
Down in the game right now, they're pressing a little bit, trying to get back with the three-point shot. The three-point shot can be a very valuable weapon, but it has to be used smartly and judiciously. You can't fall in love with the three.
Here's Burks, and the layup's good off the glass. Burks has got 15 points in just the second half. Trailblazers leading by 12. Back to Alder, and stolen by Burke. For the finish, rips down the breakaway slam.
Boy, that was a massive sequence of events there. Absolutely clutch defense to trigger the break.
And we've seen games decided on plays caught just like that.
Effort and hustle plays often are big plays for a team.
Man, what a time to blow up a play and then turn it into a slam at the other end.
Here's Money. No good on the quick three. Utah's gotten some tough luck from three-point range. In the fourth quarter, they've hit just 1 of 6 from deep. Here's Hayward. And with that one, the lead is trimmed to single digits. Portland's gotten off 4 three-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Here's Money. There's the bucket, good. Money's got 59 points.
Well, guys, tonight they came in here and really dictated the terms of the engagement, which is very difficult to do as the visitors.
You're right. That's not usually the way things work in the NBA. It's a great win, and no question, it's going to be a happy plane ride out of here.
So Portland ends up going with the new group, and that one's good.
A serious game-clinching run. They've taken off here. Impressive.
No backing off. What a surge at the right time.
And nothing you can do to salvage this one at this point. Game over.
Not anymore. Any chance they had is gone.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Jefferson kicks to Rush. 6 to shoot. Nice D from Watson.
Not too much congestion in the lane. I think he could have gotten a better shot that time, no question.
And so Portland takes this one.
After the game, you were chosen as the Jordan Player of the Game. How does that make you feel?
It's an honor, no doubt. But really, they could have given that to anyone on our team the way we executed. Tonight it seemed each and every one of us were playing tough D and hitting the shots we know we could make. To say that I was the player of the game seems a bit weird to me. Because just looking back on it, I know I can think of a couple other guys on my side that are more deserving than I was, man. Most importantly, though, we got the win. And when that happens, man, they can give the award to whoever they want.